So we're going to cover in this video how we deal with multi-level BOMs or bills of materials. So in our example here we've got a mixture of buy items, green, and make items. And at the top level we've got a combination of both. So let's take a look at this second tier. First one we'll look at is the gear assembly. So when we look at the gear assembly we can see that it's a simple bought-in item. The seat on the opposite side of the diagram is a simple bought-in item as well. So we buy this item as a pack of 5 and obviously issue it to the job singular. The next item we'll look at is the wheel assembly. When we look inside the costings of the wheel assembly we can see this is made up by a rim and a tyre with a bit of assembly labour. The final part is the frame assembly. And if we look at the costings inside there, we can see the operations and the materials required. We're now going to build the black bike built to the customer's specification. And we do this within a quotation. On this occasion, we're going to let the system give it a UPR, unique part reference. We are now going to cost the bike. When we look back at the general assembly of the bike, the gear assembly is not a stocked item, it's something that we buy when we build bikes. I'm therefore going to create a purchase order, so I put this in external costs, needing one set of gears to produce one bike. We plan to take one of these seats from stock. We then want to make a frame and a wheel assembly. So we make a frame assembly and we want one of those, and we also make 2 wheel assemblies. Adding labour, we're going to give our operator an hour and 3/4 to assemble the components. We now either set a margin we want to achieve or we set a selling price of the bike to the customer. We've priced the bike that now incorporates every element of the diagram right down to the tyre and the rim. Next stage is to turn this into a live job. Sales order we have here is sat at status created, which means that no documentation other than the quote has been created, looking at the quick links top right. We email the order acknowledgement. System's now created all the purchasing requirements and all the work instructions, job cards. System's also checked that we have all the inventory items needed to make this bike. Our example shows 3 production critical items. The first thing we're going to tackle are the purchase orders that have been created. I now deal with this purchase order, sending it to the supplier. The other purchase order is for the aluminium tube used within the frame assembly. Let's now deal with the 3 red items on inventory. So what triggers these as red numbers is that the expected quantity has fallen below 0. And the quick calculation it makes is it checks how many we have in stock, how many we've got coming in, how many we've got going out, what we're going to be left with, the expected quantity. I will place an order now for 1 pack of 5 of these to satisfy this order and leave me 4 in stock. I place an order for 1 pack of 5 of the seats. Our inventory shortage moves from a red number on inventory into now a purchase order, moving from expected in to in stock by booking in the goods on the purchase order. We would then deal with the other 2 items shown as shortages via the purchase order system. We're now going to deal with the 3 works orders the system has created, 3 job cards. Under normal circumstances, a works order is created per line of the sales order. The first works order, 1911, is the master works order. And this is what we see when we look at the master job card. It tells the operator what operations he has, as well as what stock to take and what other items are being made. So we have the Master Works Order 1911. The suffix 1 and 2 suggests that these are sub-works orders. We're now looking at one of these sub-works orders, this one being for the bike frame. And again, this outlines the operations and the items required from stock. Sub-works order -2 for the wheels shows its requirements. We're now looking at all our works orders. And you'll notice that we're applying a colour coding system. Olive green showing major shortages, turquoise are minor shortages. A major shortage is where the item has fallen short and not been addressed. Minor shows a shortage but you have ordered them or decided to make them. On our sub-works order for the wheels you can see we have a major and a minor shortage. The minor for the tyre suggests we are expecting in 4, 2 going out. The major will be where we have requirements for the item but we haven't ordered enough of them or decided to make enough of them. Major shortages will seriously impact on my production.